Hello, welcome back to the next part of this Hohner Carmen restoration. It's going on really nicely, so here it is, and give it a quick blast just to show you how it's going. I have made the bass strap a little bit looser so I can actually play it. So let's see if I can just do a little tune. It is quite bright, quite loud. Quite like it. So yeah, it's behaving itself, which is a good thing, and I'm looking forward to getting it really nice. So the video today, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to level the keys because they're just a little bit uneven, so I'll show you how I do that, and then I'm going to start tuning it up. So I'm going to start by tuning the treble side, and because this is a 2-voice treble accordion, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tune the single set of reeds which are tuned to pitch, which is, I think it's A440 on this one. I'll tune those, and then I'll tune the tremolo set of reeds to get the tremolo that I'd like to hear. So I'm going to do it in 2 different stages. So the first thing is just to see if I can level the keys a little bit. So I'll just change the camera angle slightly so you can see what I'm doing, and show you about leveling the keys, and then I'll move on to doing the start of the tuning of the treble side. Okay, just give me a tick. Okay, so got the accordion ready to start doing some leveling. So some of these keys are at different levels. If I turn the accordion round, I can show you what they might look like. So if I just do this, I'll just give you a better look. So I can see that some of these are a little bit high, just slightly uneven, maybe a little bit of a low one here, and a few high here. So I'll start with the ones that are a little bit high. The trick is to try and get them all the same, so you've got to work out what the actual reference level is, but I'll try and work that out. And so I'll start with one which is high, and I'll show you how I would tackle that. So if I just turn it around this way, so that's a little bit easier. So I know I'm going to just choose one. There's one here. It's a bit high. So I want that key to be slightly that way. So push down just a little bit. So what I want to do is to bend this arm slightly that way, so that when the pallet's touching there, this is slightly lower. Now the easiest way, because it's only a minor difference, is just to push the key down a little bit, work out which pallet you're working on, and then just give a slight press to that arm, and just to flatten it down a tiny bit. So what I'm doing, I'm just bending, there we go, bending that arm down very slightly until it's level. So that's good, that's good, that's good. Now this one here is a bit low. I can see it's just down a bit, so I'm just going to get a pair of pliers for this little bit. So for this one, what I want to do is bend the arm slightly up, and that means that when the pallet's touching, that will just be a bit higher. So you've got to be a bit careful here, just trying to keep the pallet flat. So I'm just going to give that a slight bend. There we go. And now what I'm doing, I'm just leveling, getting that there, and just leveling that up. Let's go to another high one. High one here, just slightly high. So I'm just going to push that down a bit. There you go, that's getting better already. Just flatten that down. Nice. And another high one. No, that's fine. That one's a little bit high. So I'm just going to push it down slightly. there's a low one here, only slightly low, so I'm just going to get my pliers and just raise that up like that, and then a little bit high, that one. That's nice. So what I'm doing is just going along. Have I one little pass along here, and I'll probably go along again and just fine tuning. So what you're doing is just like slightly bending these bars, but you have to try and keep, we have to get the pallets still flat. So there's no point just bending it and then the pallets doing that. You've got to bend it so the pallet is still going to hit it flat on the board, otherwise you'll start having compression problems. So what I'm going to go along again, one more go, but I won't film everything, but that's my technique for just leveling those out slightly. And I'll also have a look at the black keys, but they don't look bad to me, but I'll check those. So once I've done all the leveling, I'll show you what I've done, and then I'll start on the tuning. Okay, so there, I'm pretty happy that the keys are now looking a lot more level. It is an old accordion, so you have got some slight warping of the wood underneath the keys, so it's never going to be perfect, but that I'm really happy that that's a lot better now, and so it's looking a lot more level, so that's really nice. So what I'm going to do next is show you how I tune. So I'll just stop the video and start it again when I've got things ready to show you at the beginning. Okay, so what I need to do first of all is to isolate the set of reeds on the treble side, which are the reeds that are tuned to the pitch of the accordion, which are the kind of the pitch ones. So what I'm going to do is take the treble side reed blocks out, make sure I work out which side of the reed block is the reeds tuned to pitch, and I'll tape off the other side, put the reed blocks back in, and then I'll be able to just play one set of reeds and tune those to pitch before tuning the tremolo set. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to take the reed blocks out, and I'll show you when I've got them out. Okay, here we go. I've got the reed blocks out, and I've labelled them when I took the reeds out as L and H. So the L will be the lower set tuned reeds, and they're tuned to pitch. They're A440, and the H will be tuned tremolo, so a little bit higher than that. So what I'm going to do next is get some tape, like this, electrical tape, and I'm just going to tape off the high set of reeds, making sure that I don't cover the holes for the other set of reeds, the lower tuned ones, which is tuned to pitch. So if I just get myself some tape, just very carefully like that. And I just got to trim along here because it's a bit wide. Yeah, there's a bit of mess. I'm going to do that in a sec. So I trim along there just to make sure that's all tidy, and I'll do the same thing for this reed block, and then I'll put them back into the accordion. It does. Once they're back in, I'll show you what it sounds like. Okay, so I've got the reeds back in, and so now they've been taped off the tremolo set, and I wish this strap was a bit longer because it's a bit small. That's because I'm a bit fat. Anyway, never mind. Just about to get that on. So now if I play, what I should hear is just, if I turn it around a little bit, I should just hear one set of reeds playing on the treble side. So this is quite interesting. So let's have a look. Sounds nice. Yep, So that's one set of reeds. It doesn't sound bad at all. So that's, I mean, it's kind of playable. But what I will do is now assess the tuning of that set of reeds. And for this little bit, I'm going to use a chromatic tuner on my phone. It's called Piano Tuner, but it's chromatic, and I'm going to set it to A440. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to play all the notes, all the white and black notes, with that single reed. And in my little book of tuning notes, I'm then going to make some notes on where each reed is in terms of its pitch, so whether it's sharp or flat from the A440 standard pitch, and by how much. So I can just see on my tuner that kind of degree of sharp or flatness. And what I do, I'm going to give it a kind of scale of 1 to 10, so sharp by 1, or sharp by 5, or sharp by 6. And then once I've got my tuning notes done, I'll take the reed block out, and then I'll make some adjustments to the tuning using my tuning technique. I'll show you that. And then I'll put the reed block back in, play it again, check it, and so it normally takes like 2 or 3 goes to kind of get it really where you want it to be. But it's a gradual process, because it's not like tuning a guitar, just turn a tuner. It's actually scraping and filing a reed, and you don't really want to be taking too much off a reed at one point from the middle or the tip, because once you've got it off, you can't put it back on again. It's like having a haircut. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make some notes. So I've got my tuner set on my phone. So if I just give an example, I'm going to start with a C. So it should be bang on the tuner, but it might not be. So let's see where it is. And also I make a note of whether on the push or the pull, because that tells me which reed I'm going to be tuning. So let's have a look. So that C is flat on the push and pull, and it's flat by 5. So when I come to do the tuning, I know I need to sharpen that reed by 5 in my kind of scale that I make. And now let's try another one. Let's try a G. And so then I can just do the same thing. So I'm going to go along and make my notes on the tunings, and I'll show you what I've done when I've done that. Okay, so I've made my tuning notes for the white notes and the black notes. So I push and pull, how flat or sharp the notes are, and then I've taken the reed blocks out, and now I'm going to make some tuning adjustments to the reeds. Now this is one thing in accordion restoration which needs the most patience, really, because there's quite a need for being careful. So you have to just do a little bit check, a little bit check, and not go too far. And then it's interesting to show you some of the tools I use for tuning. So if I just hang on a second. In my little case here, I'll just show you what I've got for my tuning. So I've just got some little bits of 400 grit sandpaper, just handy for just doing a little bit of cleaning up of the reeds. I've got a little pointer, very thin, that's good for lifting up reeds from the inside. I've got a sharp So these are some of the tools I've got for my tuning. I've got a little very thin pointy thingy, that's good for lifting up reeds from the inside. A craft knife, good for lifting up outside reeds. I've got some 400 sandpaper just in case I need to do some getting any stuff off the reeds, like glue or wax or something. That's quite helpful. The other good thing is some tools for the filing and scratching. And so for the filing, I've just got these mini diamond tipped files. So these just really nice fine files which I can then do some careful filing. And for the scratching, I've got some of these micro drills, really fine drills, really sharp, which are really good for scratching, for using that when you're tuning a reed. So those are some of the tools I use, and I'll just show you how I tune a couple of reeds. So give me a second, I'll just change the angle. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a little example. I have shown this before, but I'll just do it again anyway. So this reed here is a D. I know it's a D because I can count the white notes up. So this one here is a D, and on my little page of notes, this D was flat by a degree of 2 on the push and the pull. So let's start with the push. So the push reed, oh sorry, that one is on the outside, so I need to sharpen it slightly. So all I'm going to do here is get my blade, going to insert it underneath the push reed, which is the outside one, so it's just supporting the reed, and I'm going to get my diamond tipped file, which is this one, and I'm going to carefully just file the tip. So I'm just going to hold it like this. I think it's difficult for you to see, but I'm going to just give that a little, just hold it there, just give it a little go, final tip. And as you do this on more and more, you get used to how much you need to do to get the desired change. But to do the inside reed, what you need to do is push the, got my little pin, roddy thing, push that from the inside, lift up the reed from the inside, carefully lift back the valve so you don't bend it, and then do the same thing on the tip of the underside reed. Now what I'm doing is I'm filing the underside of the tip, filing the side of the reed I can see. So again, just a little bit of filing on the tip, and that will sharpen it slightly, and then that valve will go back down again. So that's sharpening a reed. And to do flattening of a reed, I'll just show you how I might do it. So again, I'll just support the reed, but this time what you have to do is to take a bit of the metal off the reed, somewhere between halfway up and the rivet, so kind of in the middle there, and you can do that by doing little scratches, and again you've got to be careful, so you just make a little scratch, a few little scratches, and that will change the pitch of the reed and make it slightly lower. But if you do too much, then you'll have to sharpen it a bit, and then you end up taking lots of metal off the reed, and the poor reed might just say stop, give up, I'm not working anymore. So what I normally do is do a little bit of scratching somewhere between halfway and the rivet, and then check. But after you've done it a few times, you get used to how much you're going to be doing for each reed, just for the amount of change that you need. But as I said, I normally do like 2 or 3 passes just to kind of hone in on the desired tuning. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through my reeds and sharpen or flatten them using this technique, and once I've done it, I'll play this single set of reeds again and show you what they sound like. Okay, so I've done my first pass on tuning the reeds which are tuned to pitch, the ones which are tuned to A440. I've done the black notes and the white notes. So what I'm going to do now is put these reed blocks back in, and I'll show you what it sounds like. And so give me a second, I'll put them back in and I'll show you when I've got them back into the accordion. Okay, so the reeds are in, and I've done one pass, and I like the sound. It's got quite a sweet sound. So I think this is getting quite close. So I might just do one more go along all of these reeds, tiny bit more tuning, but I'm pretty happy with that. And so what I'll do, I'll stop this video now, and then the next one I do, I will then bring in the second set of reeds and just show you how I get the tremolo sound, and that will then give you that really lovely sound that these accordions are well known for. So thanks for watching. So I've now managed to get the single set of reeds tuned pretty nicely, a little bit more to do, but pretty much there. Level the keys, so that's good. So I'll see you in the next one, and I'll bring in the tremolo set of reeds. So thanks very much.